What is up, Earthnoids and Spacenoids? I am just a simple new type, and in this video, we are returning to the 1-year war as we dive into Mobile Suit Gundam, the battle tales of Flanagan Boone. In this story, we will learn about Flanagan Boone, one of Garma Zabi's loyal men. We will see his perspective of Garma and Isolina's death and how it causes him to spiral into madness. If this name sounds familiar, it is because he is the commander of the Mad Angler team. The spy Miharu was providing Flanagan with information as she snuck on board White Base. Eventually, he dies by the hands of Amado, or by the hands of Miharu if you watch the compilation movies, which I didn't really notice until recently. In this manga, we will learn about the inner demons that Flanagan is fighting with. There is a nightmarish surrealism to the artwork done by Jiji Pinch. So let's get into this. We hear a voice, one who expresses their oppression while the people of Earth live their privilege, taking their air and water for granted. At the beginning of Universal Century 0079, Operation British takes out Australia. As the war pushes forward, half of humanity has perished. Side 3, we meet Flanagan Boone fishing with his father. There aren't really any fish in the artificial waters of the colonies, but their family was originally from Earth and very much loved fishing. They still do it out of habit. He tells his father that he is heading down to Earth with Commander Garma Zabi's Earth Attack Force. His father really loves Garma and thinks that he will bring great hope for the people of Zeon. He will most likely never again visit Earth in his lifetime, so he tells his son to visit the oceans for him. He tells him of the flatfish that he used to catch. Boone tells his father he will bring back a fish as a souvenir. California base. Zeon's Earth Attack Force was successful at capturing EFF's main bases in North America. Boone tells Garma that he was born on Earth in Belfast. Garma notes that the majority of the world is water, so it is something that they will have to master. He gifts Flanagan a Zaku Marine type. The MS-06M Zaku Marine type is the underwater variant of the Zaku. This was created by Zeonic to be the first amphibious mobile suit. The joints are equipped with waterproof seals, and it has hydrojets instead of thrusters. Other than that, it is more or less still a Zaku. The main weapon is the Subrock or submarine rocket gun. This is a 4-tube missile or torpedo gun, but there is still very little information about this weapon. It also has low caliber Vulcans and a 240mm rocket pod. This is one of the main mobile suits that EFF claimed as their own after the 1-year war. He gets into the Zaku Marine and looks out at the sunset. It is beautiful. Garma tells him to go test it out by diving in the water. He dives and sees something he has never seen before, a real ocean. Something completely different than the man-made oceans of Side 3. While diving, Isolina comes in to visit Garma. She is Garma's lover, and her father is the former mayor of New York. Garma is still talking to Flanagan from underwater. He wants to focus on creating a naval unit. While underwater, Flanagan finds a fish. He thinks it is a whitefish, but Isolina tells him it is just a flounder. Garma, Isolina, and Flanagan go and cook up the fish. Later, Flanagan forms the Zeon Forces Pacific Naval Fleet Squad, Naga 3. He trains the team and gets them ready for battle at sea. Garma tells him to try not to burn out his men. He gives the men a break by having them all learn to fish. Garma tells Boone that the White Devil is so strong that it is making Commander Char flee in battle. Flanagan says that Garma will become Supreme Leader if he is able to take down the Gundam. Garma heads out to New York. The two salute, and Garma says they will see each other real soon. Unfortunately, Garma will never make it back to base. He will be shot down by the hands of White Base, while Char laughs at his face. Eventually, Flanagan makes his way to New York. He is met with Ensign Tack, who tells him about the White Devil. He informs him that not only is there a tiny fighter inside of the mobile suit, but it could also fly. Flanagan, in his Zaku Marine, gets on the water and tries to make his mobile suit fly, to no avail. He cries out and asks Garma what he should do. He makes it a mission to destroy the White Devil. 52 days until Boone will be freed from his demons. Flanagan goes out in 3 gals with his team to meet with White Base. He is informed that Isolina went out with no mobile suits or DOPS. She is sure to die. But if she is willing to die for Garma, so too is Flanagan. They approach White Base. Their hangar opens to reveal the Gundam and gun cannon. The subterfuge on the Gundam and gun cannon makes them look very menacing, and that the name White Devil is quite fitting. I hope the creators of Requiem for Vengeance read this. They could learn a thing or two. The Gundam and gun cannon jump on the gal and tear it apart. Flanagan runs to the hangar to get into his Marine Zaku. He can't fly like the Gundam, but he can take them out as he falls. Also a reminder, the Gundam isn't flying, it's just jumping around really high and fast. Suddenly, a Lugan comes in and fires on White Base. Flanagan gets communication from the ship. It is Char Aznable here to help. He causes the Gundam to jump to the ground, but he instantly jumps back towards the gal. The White Devil whips out the beam javelin and destroys the Gao before Flanagan could launch. As Flanagan's body shuts off, his mind goes wild as he sees the Gundam as a literal demon. He also sees the death of Isolina, as well as the dinner Garma, Isolina, and he had in the past. His demons truly are getting the best of him. He will only have to deal with these demons for another 51 days. He sees faces in the Gundam. He finds the face hideous. Why? Because it doesn't have a mono eye? Well, if you find that scary, Flanagan, take a look at this. I know, right? That is frightening. He wakes up in the Zaku Marine. His entire team is dead. He is the only survivor. Boone wonders about Isolina as he walks back to base. Boone will be freed from his demons in 50 days. On his way back, he goes through a town where the people are all watching Garma Zabi give his eulogy for Garma. Oh, look at that. They made Garma look like a young Joe Pesci with a widow's peak. Space Noid? What do you mean Space Noid? What do you mean? You mean the way I talk? What? Space Noid how? What's Space Noid about it? He finally makes his way back to the base. It took him 2 days to make it back. Everyone comes to congratulate him for being alive. One of those people happens to be Char. He has already been reprimanded for the loss of Garma. Many soldiers at the base make fun of him and start to question his elite status, even Flanagan. Whether it is his pride or his love for his former commander, Flanagan wants to prove himself in some way, so he decides to take it out on Char. He challenges him to a fight. Of course, Char takes him up on the challenge, and he gets into his red Zaku. Boone will be freed from his demons in 49 days. Boone says that it won't just be a mock battle, but it will also be a tribute to Garma. Everybody watches on intently. One of these people is Uzao La Flaca. Really? You going with that name? Alright, if you say so. Char, of course, is too fast for Boone, and Char takes him down. He blacks out and sees Isolina. He apologizes for not saving Garma. She says that he is the only one that could free Garma. He gets up and jumps into the water. He begins firing his sub-rock gun. He shoots 2 rounds and only has 2 left. This would usually slow down a typical Zaku pilot because their radars don't work well underwater. But swiftly, Char submerges and even pulls out his heat hawk. Char says that Boone is still blind from his grief of losing Garma. He takes off his head. Char comes out of the water and he tells the team to pull him up, but Boone comes out on his own. He says that he can no longer see ahead of him while in a headless Zaku. It's a metaphor or some shit. The two have a Mexican standoff and Char comes out the victor. Uzao calls for a medic. He has reached his limits. He took on this battle after walking for 2 days, after falling out of a ga. It's kind of been a lot for him. Char says that Flanagan has his respect. Everyone seeks that Zeon when they wheel him away. Later, while Boone is resting, Uzao comes in to visit him. She tells him that Char launched his mobile suit during the battle with Garma. He had communication issues which led to his death, but Uzao found no issues with the comms upon inspection. She says that she has a bad feeling about Char. Boone tells her to mention this to no one. Boone will be freed from his demons in 48 days. They pull out Boone's Zaku Marine head from the water. He remembers his dinner with Garma and Isolina once again. During this dinner, Garma mentions that up, down, left, right, none of this matters in space. But Boone doesn't feel this way, which is the typical feeling of a space Noid. Boone says that sometimes it is good to look up. The flag is still at half-mast for Garma. Uzao comes in and tells him that she thinks that Char is lying to Zeon, and she wonders why. She apologizes for bringing these worries to him. The Naga 3 team heads out in a Jukon-class sub. Boone wants to honor Garma because he missed his funeral. One of his soldiers gives him a lot of shit and doesn't really want to unless he is ordered to do so because he sees Isolina as an Earth Noid. He orders the soldier to go to his room. These new soldiers are firmly a part of Garen's team. They continue the ceremony. Back at the base, everyone is talking about Boone and Char's battle. The soldier is talking shit once again. His name is Godard. This leads to a fight between Boone and Godard, where Boone is able to get the upper hand and suplexes Godard right on his head. Is he alive? The team has been floating around with no real orders. He gets on a call with one of his higher-ups and requests to allow them to move on the Trojan horse. The person he is talking to happens to be Mkuve. He decides to make Boone a part of Lady Caecilia's new secret team called the Mad Angler Corps. Mkuve wants him to be a part of the main unit, but he will have to work with Captain Sakwa Renault. She is a POW and former EFF aquatic commander. Boone will be freed from his demons in 47 days. And that will do it for this episode. We get to see more of what is happening on Earth at California Base during Garma's reign. One thing that this manga does well is explore the hope that Zeon had with Garma. Garma desiring to marry Isolina shows that they at least wanted to work with the people of Earth on some manner. Garma Zabi really did put all his faith and energy into Garma. He really believed that he was different and could bring people together. After Garma's death, we see that Degwin essentially loses all hope as he watches his lineage disappear. He never had faith in any of his other children, let's be real. Flanagan Boone encapsulates something similar in that hope is certainly lost. Sometimes we fight because we believe in the people, not necessarily the causes. Once a person is gone, unfortunately, so too do some causes perish. Also, I like that we essentially are counting down to Boone's death. This is a new manga for me, so I'm curious if Flanagan's demons are going to get so bad that we will be rooting for his death out of empathy. How dark will this one go? Next time, we will see the EFF POW help out the Mad Angler team, and we will see her eventually try to make her escape. But that will do it for now, new types. Find someone as loyal as Boone is to Garma Zabi. Peace.